Gordon Miller here. Hey, I been meaning to record this for the last couple of days, and I had a couple of conversations with some folks that led me to want to make sure I released the video today. So, a lot of people are down because of the holidays and because, it may not be going through the best times and things like that. Man, that stuff's all temporary. I spent some time on Christmas Eve with a couple people that were thinking about committing suicide and things like that. Just not a great relationship with their family and their finances not doing great and things like that. Come on, all that shit is just temporary. So I thought I would bring out something that I always talk about the glass half full as opposed to half empty, and it's an old saying. It's you see the glass half full or the glass half empty. But I got news for you. I see the glass half full even when that motherfucker is completely empty, and everybody should. It doesn't matter how bad things are or what's going on. Everybody's out there. Everybody out there has got something going on that's not great. They got bad relationship issues. They got stuff that's not going right in their lives. They got financial issues. Just never know what people are going through. And but the holidays are especially tough, and people are out there, worried about their families and worried about their finances and worried about the holidays and things like that. You know what? Just understand that if you're watching this video, you are already in the upper third of people in the entire world. It means you have a device to watch this on, either a computer or a phone. You have internet access. You understand the English language, and there's just no reason to be, down on yourself about that. There are billions and billions of people that have it much worse than you do. And I know that doesn't make your situation any better, but I got news for you. Suicide is definitely not the answer. And part of the problem is everybody likes to bitch about, what's going wrong in their lives. Man, nobody wants to hear about what's wrong in your life. They got shit wrong in their life too. I mean, it's really just one of those kind of things that, I find it really difficult because, we forget that there's other people going through shit too, and that doesn't mean your shit's any worse or any less important than everybody else's stuff. But it does mean that nobody wants to hear about your shit, because they got shit too. I mean, come on. So, but I have some friends that were down about how ugly they are, or how old they are, how fat they are, things like that. Come on, get off of that. This life is just way too fucking short. I mean, get off the idea that I'm old or I'm ugly or I'm stupid or I'm whatever. You can't do anything about that. That's like saying, oh, I got green eyes. Okay, well, great. Nothing you can do about that. If you're stupid, you can actually, educate yourself, and you can actually, go a long way towards helping the situation out. But, if you're ugly, I mean, so what? There's lots of ugly people. I mean, I spent most of my life thinking I was ugly, and I'm sure the comments will reflect the fact that I'm still ugly. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I love you, even the haters. So. But listen, in talking with my other friends, that reached out during the holidays that are all depressed, come on, guys, don't be depressed. Jesus, hey, we are in such a great position. If you had something to eat this morning, then you're already ahead of a lot of people on this planet. If you're watching this video, terrific. That means you've remembered to pay your cell phone bill and your internet bill, and you have a device worth probably at least $1,000 to watch it on. Come on now. I mean, let's just get real about this. Get a little bit of perspective. So for me, when I hear people complaining about stuff or things like that, I just like to think that, what, there are lots of people worse off than you are or than I am, and I just don't think it's worth complaining about. I think it's important that everybody understand that. And the reality is, what? I don't care if the glass is only has a few drops left in it. Those few drops you can still turn into something else. So until you're completely out of cards or you're completely out of options, just play the hand you're dealt and then keep going. Everybody just gives up. It's like, oh man, my glass is half empty. Yeah, you know what? Your glass is half empty, but it's also half full. So if you're not going to do something with that half, somebody else can do it, with it. I mean, come on, let's get real about it. I'm just tired of people worrying about stuff that doesn't matter. You have to ask yourself, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, will that shit even matter? Well, something I read the other day said, the shit that you're worried about right now isn't going to even, you're not even going to remember it a year from now. So, so okay, so you're late paying this bill, or you couldn't afford to pay that bill because you're, either buy Christmas presents or pay that bill. You know what? They're going to shut your lights off. Great. You'll turn them back on next week. But a year from now, as long as the shit's turned back on, don't worry about it. So, I just, for me, I think it's an opportunity to understand and really appreciate. And again, it's all about gratitude. People should be more grateful for what you have and understand. Look, I am very grateful for the opportunities I have. And I've made my fair share of mistakes over the years, and I wish I hadn't made those mistakes. And those mistakes usually cost me money. But so what? I mean, you learn from your mistakes and you keep going. And but if I sat there and said, "Oh man, this mistake cost me $100,000 or something," I can't sit there and worry about that. I just keep going. And also, it doesn't matter. It can cost you, mistake can cost you $5 or $50 or $500,000. It doesn't matter. The object of the game is to keep going and to keep playing the game. You don't have any other option. I mean, your other option could be, not to play the game anymore, but, then we're back to suicide. So that doesn't make any sense. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I can't tell you how many people I know that were in bad situations that a year later, their situation turned around and they're like, man, I can't believe I was thinking about suicide last year. Yeah, man, no shit, but, that's not, it's not even an option for you anymore. So I just wanted to say, look, I appreciate everybody who's reached out. I understand and appreciate where everybody's coming from. I'm glad that everybody has made it through the holidays, at least everybody who's reached out before the holidays and during. And, just keep going. Just keep doing what you're doing, and eventually it's going to pay off. The real payoff is 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, and most people just give up way too soon. What other option do you have? What else are you going to be doing? So the reality is keep going. And remember, no matter how much water's in the glass is always full as anything, because your glass may not have a lot in it, but your glass has a lot more in it than a lot of other people on the planet. All right. So take care of each other out there, and thank you guys very much.